The Equity Group Holdings Limited, formerly Equity Bank Group, headed by Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer James Mwangi, is among the most profitable lenders in the country and in the region that has bore the unfortunate brunt of cyber attacks, just like many other financial institutions in the globe. However, sneak peek by Informa Media Group into the number of cases reported shows a high frequency of system breaches and fraud cases linked to insiders and external hackers against the Tier 1 lender with subsidiaries in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda and South Sudan, points to a rather mind-blowing trend. Last month, Equity Bank resorted to hiring top fraudbusters in efforts to beef up the seemingly susceptible internal anti-scam systems. The recent revelation of hackers siphoning over 179 million shillings from 155 accounts within a mere 7 days at Equity Bank has sparked considerable concern among its clientele, prompting fears regarding the security of their assets. Equity Bank, in a letter referenced EBL/SEC/003A/1.24/Volume 1/25, wrote to the Banking Fraud Investigations Unit of the DCI and reported that over 179 million shillings was fraudulently paid out to 551 bank accounts, 63 million shillings was sent to M-Pesa, and 39 million shillings sent to 11 other commercial banks. This incident, coupled with reports suggesting a potential loss exceeding $16 million due to fraudulent activities related to stock loans and agent floating financing in Uganda, has amplified apprehensions regarding the bank's financial integrity. In response to these developments, former Equity Bank Uganda Executive Director of Commercial Banking Kenneth Onyango has been apprehended in connection with ongoing investigations. Notably, this is not the first instance of such breaches within Equity Bank network, as evidenced by previous hacking incidents in Rwanda, resulting in significant financial losses and subsequent legal repercussions for the perpetrators. Consequently, stakeholders are raising pertinent questions regarding the efficacy of Equity Bank's financial systems and the sufficiency of its cybersecurity measures to thwart such intrusions. There is a growing demand for comprehensive investigations into the bank's operations, spearheaded by regulatory bodies such as the Central Bank of Kenya, to ascertain the root causes of these vulnerabilities and mitigate future risks. Furthermore, concerns persist regarding the potential impact of these security breaches on Equity Bank's financial stability and its standing within the banking industry, particularly in the East and Central regions, where it holds a prominent position. Stakeholders are keenly observing the steps taken by the bank to bolster its cybersecurity framework and prevent recurrence of such incidents, including collaboration with regulatory authorities and law enforcement agencies. Pundits contend that amidst these challenges, it is imperative for Equity Bank to instill confidence among its customers by transparently addressing concerns, reinforcing security protocols, and cooperating fully with investigative authorities. The resilience and responsiveness demonstrated in navigating this crisis will be pivotal in restoring trust and preserving the bank's reputation in the face of evolving cybersecurity threats. In the latest case, Equity Bank's risk department has detected irregularities in transactions, with substantial sums diverted to various channels, including Safaricom, M-Pesa, and accounts in other commercial banks. Equity Bank sought help from the Banking Fraud Unit after a group of hackers stole 179 million shillings from 155 accounts at the bank in 7 days. In a letter to the unit seen by the Informa Media Group, the bank's risk department said it had detected a spark in transactions from the bank's incoming MasterCard GL. Efforts are underway to trace and recover the misappropriated funds, while stringent measures are being implemented to safeguard remaining assets. In July 2021, 9 hackers, who include 8 Kenyans and a Ugandan, were jailed in Rwanda after they hacked Equity Bank Rwanda and stole millions of shillings. Concerned clients of Equity Bank in Kenya are raising questions about the bank's financial systems and are calling for thorough investigations into the bank's operation by the regulatory bodies led by the Central Bank of Kenya. Banking sector experts are also asking questions on how the ongoing investigations into the hacking incidents will impact Equity Bank's financial stability and future operations, the strategies the bank is implementing to enhance its cybersecurity measures and prevent future breaches, and the kind of assistance it is seeking from regulatory bodies and law enforcement agencies to address the cybersecurity challenges it is facing. The affected clients are asking what financial safeguards Equity Bank have in place to prevent such a substantial loss of funds, and how the hackers managed to breach Equity Bank security systems and access so many accounts undetected. They're also wondering whether there were any warning signs or red flags prior to the fraudulent transactions taking place, and steps Equity Bank is taking to reassure its customers about the safety of their money and the integrity of its financial systems. In a letter seen by the Informer Media Group, the bank's risk department said it had detected a spike in transactions from the bank's incoming Mastercard GL. Questions are also emerging as to whether there were any indications that the hacking incidents were facilitated by internal vulnerabilities within Equity Bank's operations, and what measures the Central Bank of Kenya is considering to prevent similar cyber attacks on banks and the other financial institutions. However, our attempts to reach the bank and CBK at the time of going to broadcast proved futile as our calls went unanswered. According to a letter, the attack took place between April 9th and 15th, 2024, when the bank detected an abnormally high movement of cash from certain accounts. Gerald Munyiri, Equity's general manager for security investigations, said in the letter, quote-unquote, in the early hours of 15th April, the bank's risk department detected an increase in transactions originating from the bank's inbound Mastercard GL, end of quote. The police and the bank are working with Safaricom and the respective banks to trace the movement and secure the funds while the suspects are sought. Meanwhile, Equity has obtained a lien of 60.7 million shillings in the 551 accounts. Equity has since contacted Safaricom to assist in tracing the whereabouts of the missing 100 million shillings. According to the Central Bank of Kenya, bank card fraud occurs in a number of ways, including phishing, where fraudsters send an email or text message that appears to be from your bank or a reputable financial institution. In April this year, a former Equity Bank Uganda Executive Director of Commercial Banking, Kenneth Onyango, was arrested in connection with ongoing investigations into alleged stock loans and agent float financing fraud. The Daily Monitor reported that Onyango was taken into custody on orders from the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. The Monitor reported, quote-unquote, he is being investigated in line with that case. In bracket fraud. It's true, he is in police custody. DPP will guide on the next course of action. End of quote. Images of a handcuffed Onyango, who reportedly resigned from the bank last month, were shared on various social media platforms. Equity is reported to have accepted his resignation with immediate effect, subject to the outcomes of investigations which by then were underway. In March this year, some Equity Bank Uganda Limited employees were placed under investigation for alleged fraud involving stock loan and agent float financing. Stock finance is a lending service that allows businesses to borrow working capital against their goods. Agent float loan allows bank and mobile money agents to access unsecured loans for their operations. The amount being investigated is approximately 65 billion Ugandan shillings. The bank said in a statement addressed to its customers and shareholders, quote-unquote, we regret to inform you that we have recently identified a possible fraud on our stock loan and agent financing products, end of quote. The bank added, quote-unquote, people of interest, including a few of our staff and customers, are currently assisting with investigations by the relevant law enforcement authorities, end of quote. All the suspects are convicted of criminal mischief or misdemeanor, computer access to information intended to commit a crime, change of computer information or network, unauthorized computer accessing, and stealing. The suspects were handed 8-year jail terms and fined 56 million Rwandan francs. The 9 were part of a 12-man gang arrested in 2019 by the Rwanda Investigation Bureau that included 3 Rwandan nationals. Regional security teams had trailed the gang linked to bank hacking attempts in Kenya and Uganda and had notified Rwandan officials when they set up shop there. The members of the organized crime were arrested while hacking into Equity Bank accounts and funneling the cash to Rwandans citizens to draw out funds through easy banking and ATMs. Taarifa Rwanda reported, quote-unquote, the court tendered the verdict on the 5 charges: unauthorized access to computer or a computer system data, access to data with intent to commit an offense, unauthorized modification of computer or computer system data, theft, and formation of or joining a criminal association, end of quote. Other banks in the country that have suffered similar fate include NCBA and Family Bank. In 2020, 2 suspects, then second-year students at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, were charged at Milimani Law Courts for stealing 25 million shillings from NCBA Bank through hacking. They were also said to have attempted to steal an additional 190.7 million shillings from the same bank. And in 2019, Geoffrey Odur Ojo, also known as Jeff Madole, aka Jeff Mzee, aka Jojo Udukuzi, was charged before Milimani Court Magistrate Zainab Abdul for allegedly hacking of Family Bank computer system. He was charged with 3 counts, which include unauthorized access to computer data, remotely gaining access to Family Bank networks, and accessing the lender's systems with an intent to steal. However, he denied the charges.